Hello, hello! FrostyFire10 here. Welcome to Aliens Fireteam Elite, and there's been some big updates. So now we actually have a menu. So you can do new hardcore game, continue game. I'll just go continue and have a look at all the changes. That's the first change. New item available. Terminal containment unlocked. Alright, let's have a
Esther
little.
says my backroom stock is on anything not on the racks. I can pull out of cargo for.
Twin uh, nothing crazy. Heavy pulse rifle. Alright. So yeah, what is Aliens Fireteam Elite, and what does it matter? What's the point of this late quality of life update? Well, it's tied to the developer announcing that they're working on a new game. So it's kind of we've finished up on this one. I will load in a match just to keep something sort of in the background.
Have you ever talked with Esther? So Esther said we can't let Wayland Yutani get.
There have been an 8.
So it's a third-person FPS
You think if bugs...
action game. And it did have DLC, which I wasn't too impressed with, to be perfectly honest, so I didn't even buy it. So yeah, that's my opinion. We have Marine Registry, not available.
Report to your platoon leader.
Platoon leader?
I hope I could visit the surface of LV-895.
So very static NPC dialogue stuff, nothing too crazy. I suppose the nature of the missions was the question, in terms of them being interesting enough to justify that there was only so many at launch, and then it was about repetition in terms of you go through the lowest difficulty, and then you go up a difficulty, and then up a difficulty. So a number of games have done this where they substitute content for the difficulty. So they try and have it that, oh yeah, you'll be doing the exact same mission, but it's slightly harder, more, aliens and things.
This leg doesn't stop...
Alright, well, that's all those people talk to. Okay, so we had the DLC, which is Pathogen, which basically reskins some of the enemies. Does give you a final queen boss to fight, though, so that's sort of the justification for, why would you even consider buying it. We did get... So we had a Horde mode, and we got a couple more. We got Containment, Rupture Cistern, we got Point Defense, and we got Restock Turret Towers. And honestly, they're all very mid. They're okay with other people. This is a 4-player or 3-player co-op game. Yeah, 3-player. And with the Lancer and the Phalanx, these are some later classes that were added. Yeah, still 3-player. It's kind of disappointing. Let's see if we can join in a match. So one of the things they adjusted with quality of life was the quick play, so it's easier to find matches, because before... This is going to be a pain in the ass. It's fine. I want to join a queue. Yeah. So finding matches towards the end, of course, was difficult because people had beaten it. So this is a game that it didn't die because it was a bad game. It sort of just died off because people beat it. So of the people that bought it, they just played through the campaign, they finished the campaign. Maybe they came back for the DLC. Alright, so we have a person. This is great. Great, we've got something. So let's do something, one of my good ones. Substantial value. Boom. I do wish I had more. Grab that one. And the static grid's actually very, very, very strong. Alright, we'll just wait. So they're pretty much maxed. So again, I'm not worried about that at all. Maybe we can have a look at skills and weapons and things. I'll go with the Magnum. Magnum's sick. And I'll go shotgun. Shotgun's sick too. Anything else we need? Not really. My perks are all pretty much decked out. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. That's fine. Anything else? No, that's fine. So, it was an okay game, but it wasn't, it just didn't have substantive content, and it didn't mirror the movies. It does in some ways, and in other ways it doesn't. So there are missions where it's just you against robots. There's synthetics. And it can be a little bit annoying. And one of them in particular, mission was quite hard towards the end on standard difficulty. So it's like, oh. So the thing,
Fireteam, we need to divert the Xenos from an ongoing operation. Get aboard Katanga and make some noise. The bugs will come at you in waves, so hold on as long as you can, then get out. That's
fine, horde mode. So one of the quality of life changes they did was that you could quick play across all of the various modes. So here we have horde mode, which before you had to select it was roughly the chapter and the kind of the mission, and it was a lot more narrow. Now it's a bit wider because the player base has shrunk. You just have to do that. Some games still make this mistake where they narrow down the selection of matches to try and look for that, so that you can't find a match when there are matches available. So it's kind of from the start you have to do some wider options with quick play. Otherwise you just pigeonhole players into different areas and they find it hard to connect.
Team, we got a salvage job happening in a nearby sector.
So this is horde, so this is going to be pretty basic. I want to turn the volume down because goddamn, they're talking is loud.
We prepped a defensive position for you. When you're ready to start, hit the control for the air shafts.
Okay, I'm thinking which wave, where do they come from?
Sentry deployed.
Alright. We got ammo. We can keep refilling ammo, so that's one of the things that will make it a bit easier. And towards the end there'll be larger enemies. But it's not a bad game. And it is faithful somewhat to the series in terms of sound effects of the guns and the feeling of the aliens being around, but at the same time it's kind of a lighter version of Aliens. It doesn't have the same... There are moments of, moments of intensity. Okay, like you hear that sort of stuff. Performance feels a little bit better than the past, just a little bit better. It was a good game. It wasn't one that had major bugs at launch. It just, again, co-op sort of stuff was a big factor. You needed to have people to play with to make it really good. The bots were a lot worse. Apparently they've been fixed to be a bit tougher and a bit smarter, so they can use them in harder difficulties, which if you're still playing, you're at a harder difficulty. So me being on standard, it just says a lot about how I didn't find the leveraged increased difficulty as a way to prolong my gaming experience. I just didn't buy in on that aspect of it. So I play this game a lot, and I've got like nearly 40 hours, so that's playing the game a lot. That's just sort of a measure of how the content was. And even is now. It's so much more to do with the way they set up the scenarios to be thrilling and exciting that they lack the ability to write anything that's it's nowhere near as compelling as the movies. And it has a bit to do with the nature of you killing so many aliens that the tension sort of decreases because you're able to kill them, so you don't feel the fear as much. There are ones that sneak up on you, which were, I think, probably one of the better features, even though it's just kind of a gimmick that they would be on a wall and if you run ahead, they just jump on you.
See the equipment cabinet in the corner? You can access that to requisition requisition supplies.
So what we can do is get some
You
turrets and
get
things.
requisition credits after each attack. Choose careful. You gotta make that shit last.
My turret is absolute beast, so...
Get ready.
Okay, we're near enough. Let's put another turret down. Yeah, it's fine.
Sentry setup.
So there are face huggers, but they won't... They give you a chance, like a little mini game to fight them off. My turret is all spec. That's what this character is all about. So again, technician, one of the easiest characters to play in the game. The normal turrets have a certain amount of ammo, so hardened means that they have more ammo, and they do a bit more damage. My turret here is broken, so I'll have a refresh, and then I'll be able to put down another one, but I'm not too worried about it. You do have a melee, and a dodge. Your dodge is really important. So, it's one of those things where... as the enemies get closer because they're bigger and they got more health, the dodge really does play a big part.
Sentry deployed.
I'm just trying to feel if the game's really worth buying now as it was at the start. Not really. The game only had a limited period of time where it was worth playing, and you know, I mean, it had lots of people playing at launch, you know, in a couple of weeks around that. So after that, it did drop off for a reason. It's just you play it with your friends. If they don't want to play it, then move on. It's not a great solo game, and they could have done more with the bots to make them more personable. They could have given them personalities, because they are fixed in terms of their names. So it's like Synth A and Synth B. I mean, Alpha and Beta. It's Alpha and Beta, isn't it? So Alpha and Beta could have had personalities as bots, and I think that could have been a bit of a way to mitigate some of the feeling of isolation you get when you're playing with just solo with these two aimless bots that get stuck on obstacles and sort of... Oh, big boy coming. So we do have medkits further down. So the xenomorphs will go for the turrets, for the most part first. So they will go for my hardened one. Alright, we can buy some stuff now. Alright, we can get semi rounds. We can save up for a sentry gun. I think we'll save up for a hardened sentry gun. There's no point getting a basic one. I do want to kill the enemies before the turret if I can, just to save bullets on that one, but my main one's fine. All the guns are valid. Some of the grenade launchers are a bit trickier to use at times. So we do have spitting xenomorphs, we have, you know, sentinels, big tall ones. We have the big tank ones. Legendary sort of variety. So here's another one. Alright, so I want to... Stay alive, turret. You got some bullets left in you. Alright, so I lost a little bit of health.
For now.
Alright, might be worth using my med kit now and then just... Let's grab that. You can only hold one aid kit, but there are certain classes like the medic you can do healing, but it's... At launch it was quite poor, the medic, and then it got better. We'll just keep saving up for that 500. That's a good idea. So you can get behind cover, and you can shoot over, so you can go like that. And the acid blood you have to take into account as well. Ah! Alright, so we got a little overwhelmed there, which is a bad sign. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to retreat, I think would be the right strategy here. Or do we stay forward position? There. My shotgun has some abilities on it, some attachments that I get, like if I get headshots it explodes. So it's pretty good. I mean, pretty damn good really. Pretty interesting to see what they do. The studio that made this. Alright, we retreat to there.
You're clear. Get those bastards for this. Patching up.
Alright.
Rearming.
That.
Bypassing them.
Sentry deployed. Sentry set up.
Alright, so now we're pretty much set at the back. I do want to get the med kit. Let's grab that. So he has a point to retreat to now, and we're just kind of managing that. Alright, big boy coming in.
You got some space. Use it.
Alright, 30, 350. We're all good there. So, what do we do? Just hang on, I suppose. So yeah, this is the gameplay in a nutshell. You do, in the missions, move from one point to another point to defend. So, but yeah, it is moving from A to B to C, defending each point as you go, or being ambushed on the way from A to B to C. And it doesn't vary too much, and it's kind of one of the detriments, one of the weaknesses of the game. is that it doesn't vary things enough. But that said, you've got modifiers to try and mitigate that, where you can change the way things look. But you're limited to one modifier each, or just one modifier for the map, which is the part where it's actually, they should have just expanded and allowed you to use multiple modifiers at once to, you know, escalate the difficulty and the reward. And it's just dumb they never figured that out. You had this whole card system and you can only play one, when you could have been able to play multiple cards and change things up a lot. It really doesn't make any sense when you're playing with other people online that only one card is used, as opposed to everyone's card is used, so you have 3 different cards. And I imagine, yeah, you could make things way too hard, but at the same time, I feel like that should have been an option. And then you have your same enemy variation, and it's really just the level design. Some of them are much better than others, naturally, but they could have done a lot more. Yeah. And on the hardest difficulties, you did have the situation where, you know, you one hit and you're dead, and you take a huge amount of damage, and when you get ambushed, you just get insta-killed and all that sort of stuff. But it's still the same game. It's still... Oh my gosh. You devil! Oh.
You gotta break in the swarms.
No, I've got to run and get a bloody medkit. Ugh. 175, not enough to really do much. Oh, that's fine. I can do it there.
Sentry active.
So at some point you just stop seeing the enemies as particularly interesting, and it just kind of... Yeah, they lose their impact. And that's just what happens when you kill thousands and thousands and thousands of them. Oh, it gets around.
Ammo drop.
Alright, we got him. But yeah, the weapons are all good. One of the issues I had at launch was that I was having a good time playing the game, grinding the weapons, because you had to level them up. Which you have to level up the new ones, but there was an update that came out that just instantly leveled up every weapon, so it just suddenly took away any desire I had to play the game, because it was like, oh, it's done, what's left?
Sentry active.
Oh, these explosions are such pain.
Ammo drop here.
Great distraction, Fireteam. Our engineer's finished.
Sentry deployed.
There's another op scheduled. You want to extract now or keep pulling away the Xenos?
We're done, mate. Oh my god. What do you want to do? Go back. Okay. Yeah. I got
Nice
you, mate.
work out there,
It's all good.
Marines. Get your ass back to the dropship.
Yeah, it's just I'm done. But I'm glad I did the card at least. We get the double rewards. Maybe that'll make him happy. Prestige ranks. So he got more kills. He's the assault fighter and I was sort of hanging back. Specials killed. Oh, that's fair. We were the same. No revives. No damage taken, really. Damage dealt. Bit of damage taken. Alright, return to base. Yeah, it's fine. So it doesn't immediately disband your multiplayer party when you return to base, which is one of the... I think it's a nice thing. A little awkward at times, but that's fine. But a lot to do with the setup. And the aliens not being a... I don't know. It's one of those where the game would have worked better if you were responding to the alien attack. Like, you were positioned on the base with civilians. Then it was under attack. People changed, and then it was kind of a last-ditch effort to survive sort of situation. If there was stakes that actually felt meaningful. Here, it's you're on a separate safe base. You're going to the planet, doing the ops and all that sort of stuff. It feels like there is a safe haven to retreat to, right? As opposed to being cornered. Now let's leave the team so we don't. It's all right, mate. I'll manage myself. Leave team. That's it. Just to, yeah. So there's all issues that I've talked about. I did a review of the game a long time ago, and talked about these issues, and quality of life is nice, but the game died.
If you have,
and they let it
keep
die.
the ship stores balanced and we try to go FTL, you know, is it legal?
The other issue, of course, was that currency,
illegal,
the cost of everything was just way too high.
But if it's legal, I'll need you to file requisition form 1348 or 1348.
Guns and things just way too
You
expensive.
can grab those off ships.
It's not fun. Not fun. The perk system is not too bad. Let's go through that just quickly. We got new emotes. Amazing. Wow. I don't care. We got that one. Max ammo. Oh, that's trash. Okay, so the system was kind of a fitting things together, and certain skills connect to each other, like all the turret stuff. And you get a whole bunch of synchronizing in different slots, a little Tetris game, and you got your modifiers, and that's okay. It was all fine. It's not terribly interesting. The turret, you did have some options to turn it into a flame turret, which is cool. But the basic turret is just so good. So good. It's crazy. Demolitioner was the other class which had some value for me, which is because you have the smart gun, which is good fun. Because it locks onto enemies, like heavily aim assists, which is just great. It's just great to do that. And I got the rocket launcher was great. Flamethrower was good fun as well. And the grenade launcher is just yeah, rocket launcher is good. Good, you know, the main basic stuff. See, I've got everything 4-star. A lot of that was actually not me doing it. It was just done by the devs in an update on accident. Kind of, see, this is a new gun I unlocked, so it wasn't 4-star, but everything else was 4-star. So they did all that progression for me, so I didn't feel like, you know. And then we've got the challenge card, which I just think you need to be able to use more than one. Because some of them are okay. You know, they get Praetorian, so you get bigger boys. Primary, second when weapons are disabled. Jeez, that's tough. And the synths around, they'll spawn. You can ones where there's like a sentinel that always follows you. No longer move while aiming down the sights over your weapon. But as for, you know, there was some variation in the environments, but it still felt like the structure of the missions was the same in every environment. It was just going from A to B to C to D, defending a wave attack in each location. So it's just that the locations are okay. The interactivity with the locations was not good, and the mission structure was not good. It was very repetitive. Some of these are the best missions towards the end. But that said, you didn't get to fight the Queen in the base game, which was just dumb. You literally just run away. So, but they look nice, you know? This mission in particular is a very nice looking one. I'll just jump in it and show you. It's fine. Lock Fireteam, let's go. I'll just run around a little bit and then end up. But I'm kind of disappointed. Yeah, I'm still disappointed with the game. Still disappointed where it lacked cleverness in terms of writing to make it seem more tense at times, and to add a feeling of
Flares on the
thrill.
deck. Follow them. Molina's blue fire team passed this way.
So let's check the AI, see how good they are. But these environments look cool.
Here we go.
That's the sneaky one. But yeah, you progress. Little groups would attack, and then you'd have points where you have to scan something or interact with the machine, and that would just spawn a wave. And your health would go down a lot. They did do quality of life to make it a bit easier.
You're in their house. They could come from any direction. So, be paranoid. If you see something, shoot something.
Come on, AI. These AI are bloody useless. Abandon mission. I'll use the smart gun just to show you. Yeah, so one of the other things that they just sold a whole bunch of these packs. These different packs. For some reason. I can never understand. Alright.
We are now officially on search and rescue.
No, that's fine.
Blue team made it through Katanga's last security since, but once they reached the Xeno Hive, they dropped out of radio contact.
So it's really a lack
Going
of
in to find
personality.
them.
In the NPCs, it sort of takes you out of any feeling of tension or excitement or anything. It's so bland.
Follow them. Molina's blue fire team passed this
When
way.
they've done work on the environments look great. See the same spot again.
Zero, side corridor. You're in their house. They could come from any direction.
They can come from the different lanes and the different
So,
doors.
be paranoid. If you see something, shoot something.
There's also friendly fire on the harder difficulties, which was an interesting thing to have. I think that's something, trying to do something different. It's fine. So you have to watch your lines. I swear to God, bots, if you're not bloody shooting these.
Watch where you walk. There'll be eggs.
So we get to a point here. Get a wave.
Got a drone creeping on you.
So at this point, you just heal up. Enemies can still spawn randomly, even when you're, you know, in between waves.
Ammo drop.
Right there, just a little group. But for the most part, that's the game on repeat, again and again and again and again and again. And then you have the synth ones where they shoot at you and they're a pain in the ass. But there's only a couple missions with them. I'm like done. So yeah, the game hasn't changed. The game hasn't gotten markedly better. It's not worth buying now with these quality of life updates. It had a little moment, like most games do, and now it's well and truly gone. Whether the studio that made it can actually be better, I don't know, because they sold a lot of crappy DLC, costume, cosmetic crap, and then the DLC I think is lukewarm, very timid. Yeah, it's just the mission structure is the massive failing, and it's something they repeat again and again and again. So they repeat the same mistake again and again and again. Can they learn? Can they be more dynamic? Some of these missions are they're just dumb, and you could do so much more with them. You could have normal humans to protect, like a whole group of them, and then say like at the end of the mission only like 2 of them are left, and you get rewards less because you let some of them get killed. They could have done a whole bunch of different stuff. They could have done more interaction, more verticality in the mission in terms of the different levels of the ship you go through, or like the base you go through, give you the full-on map. And I feel like so much of the positives, you can see the learnings when you look at Aliens Dark Descent, and you look at what they've done, and you go, oh, they've learnt from Fireteam's Elite. And so I feel like there's a ground to be made between the two of them to find a better Aliens game that is still action. So I don't know if we need to go first person with actual maps that are clearable, repeatable interactions to going back in and save people. That'd be nice. But yeah, it's just interesting to see where the game is at. So hopefully this helps you as like a game update. Yeah, it's just, I've showed you the gameplay. Make up your mind if you want to buy it. If you do, I really recommend cheap. Don't buy like a deluxe version or anything like any of that shit. But yeah, if you're going to buy it, you have to have some people to play with, because the bots just aren't worth playing with. You need to have that tension. People need to role play and go, we're not going to make it, man. And, you've got to have some sort of something going on, because the game doesn't give you enough. It does not give you enough. No personality from the soldiers you're playing as. Yeah, you're better off just if they had the whole, another 3 NPCs with you that were a part of a squad that had dialogue and things, and then they died, and then, I don't know, some sort of consequence. It's just, yeah. And the whole difficulty rotation with the content was just poor. So you had to go on the lowest difficulty. It was so much easier to level up your character to be strong enough to play the other difficulties. And that's sort of insulting to people. It's weird. Alright, it's been Frosty510 rambling on and on about the state of the game. Aliens Fireteam Elite after the quality of life update. The last update, really. Yeah. It's still just middling, below par. But it had its moments at release, but of course, like every game does. Well, not every game, but most games. And playing with other people is always going to make the game better. But yeah, once that was over, once people beat the game, it was done. Alright, tell me what you think. Did you have a good time at launch? Did you play later? Did you find people easy to play with? Did you go through the whole campaign with other people? I did that a couple times. Did you like the different weapons? Do you think they could have done more variations with the skills and things? I mean, maybe just scrap the whole class system and just make it a way free range, sort of entirely free build, and you just restrict it with the weapons you have and some sort of cap on skills and stuff. Could they have been much more, liberating and less constrained? And then mission design. How'd you find the mission design? Did you agree that it's just repetitive at its core? And they could have used the aliens better, or just it's the structure of the missions themselves, the layout of the maps themselves was the issue as well. Whether that did sort of hamstrung mission development. But yeah, tell me what you think, and like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.